Never dress your salad the way you dress yourself. I thought of this on my run this morning. When you dress yourself, when you're getting ready to go out for like a date, do you dress yourself and then do your makeup? Or do you do your makeup and then dress yourself?
I dress myself and then do my makeup.
You do? Then you get makeup all over your clothes.
No, I don't.
Hello, my honeys. It's Emmie and Healthy Mummy. She is back for the Healthy Mummy series. If you are not in the know.
Series?
Oh, it's a series. You don't see the line around the corner? People are lining up to see this lady. So, if you don't know what's going on,
I never know what's going on.
then click the link in the down bar where we explain exactly why Healthy Mummy is eating Slim on Starch. But if you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Emmie. I'm the creator of the Slim on Starch program, and Healthy Mummy is going to be doing Slim on Starch. Well, she's actually in the middle of it right now. I also upload a new video every Wednesday and Saturday, so make sure that you hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And if you are interested in applying to work with me and my team of a mindset coach and a nutrition coach, then click the link in the down bar. Okay, so today is a full day of eating with Healthy Mummy. I'm going to be referring to a lot of products in this video that I'm using, and I actually just created a Google Doc with all the products that I use with links to them. So instead of trying to find them yourself, just go into the down bar and you can get a link to that Google Doc with all of my links, and I have some discount codes too, so you can use those as well. Also, if you guys have any questions for Healthy Mummy with how the journey is going so far, then go ahead and drop them in the comments, because we're going to do a Q&A. And I have so many ideas for videos that we can do in this series, so it's going to be exciting.
Good, it'll be fun.
Yeah. So she looks like she's 25, but she's actually 60, and I'm 25. She doesn't know what her full day of eating looks like. I prepared it all, so I'm going to bring over each dish, and we're going to talk about it.
What a treat.
Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
Let's do it. I'm going to be showing you guys 3 meals. Thinking about doing a separate video of some snack ideas, so if you want to do that, then we can do it. Just let me know in the comments. So let me go get meal number 1. Okay, close your eyes. All right, here is meal number 1.
Oh, yeah.
So we're starting, that is your breakfast.
Yeah.
That is the first meal. So we're going to be starting out with breakfast, which is carrot cake oatmeal. So in the past, you were having your oats, and you would have your oats mixed with soy milk.
Right.
And she was having just a little soy milk. So what we did instead is we have the oats that were just cooked with water. So this is a cup of rolled oats cooked with water. And also what I threw in there was a handful of shredded carrots, and also some frozen banana, because here's a pro tip. The pro tip is that when your bananas are ripe, when they're perfectly ripe, cut them up and then freeze them, because then you'll never have a banana issue.
Right.
Because I know about banana issues. So when your bananas are ready, cut them up, put them in the freezer, and then I just threw in the frozen bananas with the carrots, cooked it in the microwave for like 5 or 6 minutes. It was a good amount of time, I was surprised. And then just threw on top of it pumpkin pie spice and then some blueberries. You're a big blueberry fan.
Yeah.
You could also put on some apples on top. But the reason why I wanted to do carrot cake oats is because you've learned through going through the Slim on Starch program the importance of
Starch.
And the importance of
Vegetables.
non-starchy vegetables. Right. So I see a lot of people on this diet, they have tremendous success just eating starch on starch on starch. They're like, I got my oatmeal, I got my potatoes, like I'm killing it. And I'm like, but what about the vegetables? And especially at breakfast, a lot of people are turned off to vegetables, especially in our culture. We have the sugary, carby pancakes, French toast. Right. And if it's not that, it's eggs and bacon. You know, we don't see vegetables when it comes to breakfast.
Usually.
And it's very important to eat vegetables at every meal.
Right.
So by sneaking it into the oatmeal here, another thing that you can do is you can put in some riced cauliflower or some grated zucchini. You can't taste either of those when they're mixed in there. So if you're having trouble getting your veggies, you can do that. But you will start out with some carrot cake oats.
And the bananas, I think, will help with the creaminess that the soy milk used to give me.
Good call. Yeah. And especially the frozen bananas. The frozen bananas give a different texture when they're added into the oats.
Great.
So that is meal number 1. Don't
I'm not.
look. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you can look.
Whoa.
This is fun, isn't
Yes,
it?
it's great.
Okay, so what we have here,
It's beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
Not too bad. So, Mom, what have you learned? You were making mistakes when you were making your salads beforehand.
Right.
What mistake were you making?
There was no starch in it.
Yes!
I'm on
good
fire
job!
today.
I'm so proud. I didn't think you were gonna get that. You're
Good student.
so good.
Good student, always a good student.
Yes, so there was no starch in the salad. It's so important to have starch in a salad. Do you want to say why, maybe?
For satiation.
For satiety, yes! You're killing it!
Gold star.
So the problem is that people will make these salads and they'll have all these vegetables, and that's awesome because we just talked about the importance of vegetables. Right. So they'll load up on their veggies, and then what they do is they put on an oily, fatty dressing, and they don't have the starch in there.
Right.
So the salad ends up being loaded with calories because of that super fatty dressing, but they're not full at all because there was no starch.
Right.
And it's very frustrating for these people because they're trying, genuinely making a salad, have all the vegetables in there, and they're like, what gives?
Right.
And that's the issue, is they have the really fatty dressing. So we started out, if you watch this channel, then you know this. If you don't watch this channel, what you have to know about me is I am the simplest person on planet Earth. People ask me for recipes and I say, I don't eat recipes, I eat food. I literally don't make recipes. I have an entire recipe book that I give to my clients. If it were printed out in real life, it would be collecting cobwebs because I really don't make recipes. So we are all about simplicity and ease. And when you make up a meal, you want to have your starches, your veggies, maybe some fruits on the side, and some legumes. So let me give you a torte plate here. Tofu is traditionally something that I don't include in an everyday slim on starch diet. So she has osteoporosis from having chemo, hereditary, whatever. It doesn't matter how we got here. It matters what we do now. You know, I always say, this is something that Kiki talks about, one of our mindset coaches in the program, that people, you know, we like to say, why am I the way I am? How did I get here? Why do I do this? I always say when firemen come to a fire, they don't say, well, and yes, but they don't go, okay, let's investigate, like, how did this start? If the fire is up in flames, they're gonna put out the fire. So she has osteoporosis, whatever. We can't do anything about the past, so let's just talk about what we can do now. She needs to make sure that she's getting enough calcium. You could get enough calcium from greens, but I just don't trust you to do that. This is what we call CYA. This is what allows me to sleep at night, is knowing that she's getting this really big hit of calcium from the tofu, and at least we can put that in there because this is loaded with tofu. And you took out the soy milk,
right,
which had a lot of calcium in it. Yeah. So I'm totally fine with you having the tofu, also because yes, it is higher in fat, but from a calorie density standpoint, it's only about 400 calories per pound. A lot of people don't realize that. Okay. So it's fine for you to have this as a condiment, which it is in this case. Okay. So we have the tofu. This is how I made the tofu. I took Dylan's Well Your World barbecue sauce. Again, that's in that document that I talked about that has all of the products linked in it. And I just coated the tofu with it and put it in the air fryer. Oh. People always ask, how long do I put things in the air fryer for? What temperature? I don't know. I throw it in there and then I check. So that's how I made the tofu. Okay. And I put it at the highest temperature and just checked it every so often. These are purple sweet potatoes. So I used my potato express bag, which cooks a potato in like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I just put them in the potato express bag and put them in the microwave. Cooked those up, chopped them up and threw them in here. We have black beans because I wanted to do corn, but we didn't have corn. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't gonna go to the store to get corn. So we did black beans, which is also a great source of iron. Women need to make sure that they get enough iron because you don't anymore, but you lose a ton of blood every month. So it's not uncommon for women to have low iron levels. So black beans are a great source of iron. For the base here, I just bought the cheapest lettuce mix. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I bought this lettuce mix is because it also had the raw carrots and the cabbage, which are the non-starchy vegetables.
Okay.
And it was $2.39 for a giant bag, and I just threw the giant bag in here. Tofu is very inexpensive.
Yeah, it's not bad.
An entire block of tofu was $2.29, so this is half a block, so that's under $2 for that. Beans, we know, are like 79 cents a can, and potatoes, please don't even get me started. So this is gonna be your lunch. Now, people always ask about dressing. Dylan, that I talked about, has the dressings that are salt, oil, and sugar-free, and you've been having them. So that's in that document that I talked about, like my go-to products. Go look in that document, and you can get all of those salt, oil, and sugar-free dressings. Pro tip for salads is never dress your salad the way you dress yourself. I thought of this on my run this morning. When you dress yourself, when you're getting ready to go out for like a date, do you dress yourself and then do your makeup? Do you do your makeup and then dress yourself?
I dress myself and then do my makeup.
You do? Then you get makeup all over your clothes.
No, I don't.
Okay, leave a comment if you put on your makeup. You have your towel on, you have like your hair in the towel, and then you put on your makeup, you do your hair like a bride.
Yeah.
And then you put on the dress last.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
A bride doesn't put on the dress. And I treat every day like I'm a bride.
I forgot how.
The queen that does her makeup and then gets dressed. So, before she ruined my metaphor, you want to do your makeup before you dress yourself so that you don't get makeup on your clothes. When you make a salad, what you want to do is you want to dress the leaves and then you put on the toppings.
Yes.
That is the most like sneaky tip ever. Restaurants make their salads so good and so beautiful. They dress all of the leaves and then you put on the toppings and it looks all nice. Otherwise you have like mustardy potatoes and you lose the taste of the potato and it's just like glopped up.
Because the only thing that doesn't taste good without something on it is the lettuce.
Yes, exactly. So dress all of your leaves and then put your toppings on top.
Perfect.
We haven't had dinner yet, so I am going to give you some live footage of dinner if you can handle it. Okay, so tonight for supper, my dad made wraps, but we need to make a little bit of a change because he's gonna be having these wraps, and honestly, these are healthy, they really are, but we really wanna maximize my mom's results while on Slim on Starch. So he's gonna be having the wraps, and so she is going to be doing lettuce wraps. Now, I want us to be very, very clear about something, and I'm going to explain this because this is my dad's starch source. And what he adds into here is he has the roasted red peppers, carrots, sprouts, and then over here, this is just a steamed water sauteed mixture of onions and mushrooms. So that is what he is gonna put in the wrap, okay? So he's gonna put in the mushrooms, the onions, roasted red peppers, sprouts, carrots. He has his homemade pickles and some water chestnuts. And he's naughty and he does the balsamic vinaigrette. Do not do this. Do not do this. Do not have this. Look at that. The first ingredient pretty much is oil and then sugar and salt. So that's a big no-no. We don't have time to discuss that right now. But anyway, he's gonna be doing this with a starch. Now, if she replaces that starch with lettuce, she won't have any starch in this meal and then she's gonna be so hungry. So what we're gonna do to make sure that she gets the starch source, she's gonna wrap it in lettuce, but I'm making her add potatoes in, and she wouldn't have done this if I wasn't on her. So I'm making her add in potatoes. She's got to have the starch source in there. So if you wanna do wraps, go ahead and do the lettuce wraps, but you gotta put a starch in there. So put in some potatoes or put in some sweet potatoes or some rice or some quinoa. Perhaps throw some beans in there too. And then she is going to be using the Well Your World dressing. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's all made up. All right, so here is what one of the lettuce wraps might look like. We have the potatoes on bottom. We have some sprouts, carrots, the mushroom and onion mix and roasted red peppers. She'll put some dressing on here. I wish I had cuter hands. Like, I'm not a hand model by any means. I am no George Costanza. But this is what the rolled up wrap shall look like. Awesome. I gave you guys like 10 billion things to do in the comments. So do all of those. And thanks, Mom.
You're welcome, babe.
Woo!